Good afternoon, traders. How we doing out there? I hope you guys are able to battle through the red because it looks like it is definitely a red day out there. Hope you guys were battling in there. We're going to take a look at the overall market. I don't have Joel Elconin, but of course, I'll go ahead and I'll look into the market with us. Let's keep battling here. Welcome to At the Close.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, traders, how we doing out there? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this market, see how we traded in the intraday action. I got my Joel Elconin 4 charts up. So if you guys are asking about the charts there, you guys see it 15 minute to the left, hourly on the bottom, monthly on the bottom right, and daily to the right. As you guys see the ugly close that we have today, as we didn't fight that 417 a second. Towards the open, we were kind of sideways here around the 417. We broke through that level and slipped it like butter right back down to the 413s now. Trying to fight here around the 412.90s. We'll see if we take out the lows. The lows right now for the intraday on the SPY at 412.54, as we're seeing a hard crack here on the daily back down. Now the question is, will it hold inside the other range? The other range support, of course, being closer to the 406. So we could find some support near that, but it definitely is kind of worry as you go right back into that price range. This is what we were looking at when we were getting on up there. Now the question is, will we get the 50% retracement somewhere into that 400? That's what we will be watching. We'll see if we get back into that level. Of course, I'm watching more along that we did create kind of a trend line towards the top area. So if we ever do get past this 430 area on the upside, you got to look out. You could have some, potentially eventually a nice push up past that 430, which gets us back into the bull market. But for right now, turning back around. And why do I say that? Because now we have 3 marks to kind of go off of around that 430 area, and a couple of resistance holding well here, coming right back down. So we're going to take off this 417 line as it did not hold well there. And now we're heading back down into the price range here. We'll see if we are able to hold here. And you could see it last time we were in this price range. We eventually broke down. There's a lot of action in between here. This is what we're watching for now. Do we catch support into that, or do we get that 50% retracement back into the 400 level? This is definitely something to watch as we're seeing the turnaround. Another thing to note is look how the volume has been dying off on the daily as we got closer and closer to that peak there in the rally. Look how the volume has just been declining. You got a little bit of volume pop there right as you were going up towards that range. Then from there, as you broke through the range, you got a nice volume day. And from there, lower volume until we finally turned around there on Friday. Higher volume on that day tells me that, boom, selling out and running towards those profits. Not a bad move there, but now it's time to watch what was strong and what wasn't today, right? I mean, that's the important thing here is we can take a look. Energy getting the bounce back. That's the only sector I have in the green, and green from the open. That means that everything else was weak. At one point, it was so weak that there were 480 losing stocks and just 23 members of the S&P 500 that were into the green. That shows ugly market breadth. And that's something that we got to keep in mind as we're seeing this huge decline, right? Let's take a look at the one-day performance here. I'm going to show you guys a heat map here by FinViz, and you can see it here. We down about Microsoft 2.8, Apple 2%, Berkshire 2.96, Google 2%, Amazon, also Tesla down big, and barely anything in the green here. Right now, let's take a look at the 1 month performance, right? And this is going to show you the difference. So then you start taking a look at the 1 month. Look how this has really been pushing back. Apple, Amazon, Tesla, 10%, 9%, and 10%. Anything over 8% in that last 1 month is where I'd be looking for this to really start breaking down. And you can see there's a lot of names on here that were pretty high up. Even Chevron was up higher than 8% in the 1 month. So you got to keep an eye on these as they have made big runs and now can turn around. Let's take a look at the year-to-date map. I think this is important to take a look at. Let's take a look at this. And you guys can see here what has been down the most in the year. Stocks like Microsoft, Google, still down 8%, 18%. Microsoft down almost 15% from the year to date. And you can see Adobe down 25%. So these are definitely the lagging stocks here. So you got to keep an eye out on stocks like that. Look at these software names. Some of the biggest names really hit hard over year. So something that we're all watching to see the change in how you get those bounces and come right back into play. Now, one thing, of course, to watch, right, is what was really weak. Well, you see technology down 1.52% today. And a lot of the bigger names, we just mentioned how these bigger names really got hit. Look at NVIDIA's chart. Ugly chart here, as in just the last 2 or 3 days, we went from a level where we were looking like we were going to break above this kind of 188, looking for the 190s, going from around the 188 to now. That's already a 9.6% move down in just 3 days. So you got to be careful there with NVIDIA. It could be heading back down there towards the 155 and the 150s. Micron, shout out to you, Bill. I like your comment there that you appreciated the FinViz brought up there. I think it's important to kind of keep in perspective, right? 1 day, 1 month, and year to date, how those stocks are performing. And that gives us also mentality that it could be kind of, a buy the dip moment, but that's always what you believe. In my eyes, I'm still in the headwinds of this market and concerned about it. And you can see Micron coming right back down there. Tuesday's low is very important. That's when they give us that warning signal where it went to 57.74. Now we're back to 58.12s. These are some of the stocks that definitely cause me concern. Also, you can take a look there at some other semiconductor names. I was looking to see if TSM would come down today, and you could see that cracked big. I actually got stopped out of this one today. Did not execute good on the trade, but hey, still looking at the stock to see if it can continue on the bearish trend. AMD also cracking big, and Intel cracking even more and down there towards 33, and it just does not look like it's back in favor. This looks really bad there for Intel. All right, and yes, NVIDIA earnings coming on up. Definitely smash the like change agent. Appreciate you. Let's take a look at what else. So energy did get a bounce. Why was energy getting a bounce today? Well, it was a little bit of a rough day, right? I mean, we've gotten the big push in Oxy, but we also got comments from Saudi Arabia today. I think they were important to kind of note. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Saudi Arabia talks about cutting production, hovering around $95 a barrel. And if they cut production, well, there you have it. The price will start coming back on up. Something that we need to watch, because Biden was just over there trying to, get more production. If anything, increase production, not take production away. So this could really kind of help exacerbate oil's price level back towards that kind of big breakout moment that we're trying to see. In the pre-market, you were seeing USO come down fast, and then look how it's recovering here. So keep on watch. We'll see what happens in oil the next couple of days. I think this is important to watch to see how we kind of develop in the inflation talks. If all of a sudden you see oil ripping through the roof, will they actually say that inflation's peak? Will Powell talk about being more hawkish at, of course, the Jackson Hole symposium? He's going to be speaking Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And this could be more talks about what we need to continue to fight inflation, because even though we saw a momentary peak, well, if energy just comes ripping back, if natural gas, crude just starts ripping back in value, will that bring the inflation back that we saw peak? Because really, that's what brought us down. It was energy coming down fast in the CPI. Now, if energy comes back up roaring, that's where we got to show signs of concern. All right, let's continue going into stocks out there. If you guys got a stock that caught your eyes today, definitely throw it up in the chat, and I'll make sure that we cover it. All right, let's keep going through different stocks and kind of headlines that were out there. We can take a look how AMC performed, but I want to go straight towards Tesla because I think it's an important one. Let's take a look here at Tesla, how we're closing into the red, now down there towards 864. Let's go to the multi-chart look here. How did we trade? So we traded down here through that 864. We're going to take a look to see if we can really crack down towards the 800, but the daily has definitely a hard turnaround from that 939 as we were looking to get back up there. If we can break the 850s, I think we get back there closer towards the 810. So something to keep on watch is how Tesla affects. But of course, Tesla was in the news today. What was it in the news? Well, it plans on a 25% price increase for its FSD, its new beta. It's increasing the price from $12,000 to $15,000. And I actually got some footage of the FSD in work here. This is, of course, from Chuck Cook. So if you guys want to follow him, I'll actually throw up the Twitter here to give him a little bit of a shout out on our show. And maybe I'll send him this a little bit later to show him that we gave him the shout out. There you guys have his Twitter. If you want to check it on out, he gave a video on YouTube about the heavy traffic used for the FSD, the new beta. Let's check it out in action here. I'm not going to show us too much, but I will show us a little bit here. Have no problem showing that up. So let me go ahead and reshare here so that you guys can hear the sound. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the FSD in action here. Tesla FSD. Let's see it. This is from Chuck Cookman.
Let's see what we got outside.
So we're
nice
just going
gap
to see
start off.
a little bit of
a median.
a tough move here. So we got to use
Lots
the
of
median.
traffic coming from the right.
Lots of traffic. You can see the
Okay.
car on the bottom
Nice.
left here.
So,
It's interesting to see it.
oh, and we got a car that is going in this turn lane here. Let's see if there's some permanence here on this car here. Okay, we can go now. And the car,
Uh-oh.
He's
There you
going
guys
for it.
see it.
that was really good.
Not too bad
It
there.
worked because
Left-hand turn
of a
by
nice big
yourself.
gap on the left. It didn't have a huge hard decision to find a gap. It went to the median, which is the new tool set, and then it waited with better camera placement while in the median and with the new pose to accelerate. So I'm going to give round one a nice thumbs up.
Well, there you guys have it. We won't go into too much there. You guys can check out the video yourself. I'll give you guys the link there if you guys want to check it on out. But not a bad little video there on the FSD as you're seeing the Tesla FSD work. It's going to be interesting to watch, right? I think that's an important development there for Tesla and something to keep on watch. Will they get FSD correct and beat the LiDAR companies? That's what all the Tesla bulls want to see. And if that does happen, it could definitely give Tesla the advantage in the EV department overall, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if one of them get them autonomous right, that's going to definitely push it to the next level. There's a reason why you're seeing companies like GM team up with companies like LiDAR. Why? Because they want to kind of beat Tesla towards this battle versus creating their own LiDAR technology. All right, let's continue going into some other topics that were out there today. Let's go towards AMC and the apes. How did this perform today? And AMC coming on down there, not getting the lift that we kind of thought potentially could come from the apes shares. But of course, Triple BY was the poster child. It tried to even get on up and now is giving it up. And this just shows us that the memes trade is done here. It's dead here. So in my eyes, it's gone. The kind of that trade that was there, the meme trade, it's just not present anymore. So you got to be careful now. You're going to see a lot of people get caught in stocks like this. A big one with today was Party City was mentioned a lot by, of course, Wall Street Bets and kind of the people looking for the short squeezes. It did not make the move. It did hold some levels that are interesting, this 214 level. But for right now, unless these stocks get another push, for right now, it's not something that I would keep on watch. SDFY, right? Signify Health also had news, of course, with kind of a bidding war that's starting on up with these stocks. So you keep these ones on your radar. We'll see what happens in Signify Health and who are the three companies battling for it. Well, you got Amazon, you got United Health, and CVS Health. One of these is going to take the win. Really, it's something to keep on watch, but how will that affect Signify's price, and where will they be taken out is the real interesting thing to kind of keep on watch. Of course, there's a lot of rumors out there. We'll see if one of these potential bidders is able to actually get the company here in Signify and do an acquisition of the company. All right, let's continue going off of Signify. Let's go towards some other stocks that we're moving out there. Let's just take a look at what was great today. Coal, actually a strong play, and shout out to Jay Rice in the chat. I did catch him earlier today talking about coal, and it's a good stock to kind of keep on watch is this BTU, right? Another one that I like is AMR. So keep this one on watch as it takes that next leg on up above the 160s. So that's what I would be watching for pullbacks for coal. But BTU also a nice little level. If it can close above here and really just start pushing, this looks really good. Now you get that push above this 26.35 after some consolidation right at those price points. Now I would look for these kind of lows to hold. You got 25.27, 25.34, 25 holding on any pullback, looking for that upside action in BTU to really start coming back here. First level, first stop is around the 29. Then from there, 30s, and we can maybe get towards 33. We'll see what happens on BTU. Matt being mentioned in the chat. I can always take a look at stocks that you want to check out. This looks to me like a shorting opportunity as you're seeing Matt start cracking back down here towards these lows. Looks like a really nice short opportunity. You got two levels to go off of, either the 105s or the 110s. And it looks like it wants to get right back down here, at least into the 95s. And we'll see if it makes it towards the 85s and starts cracking. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going here. What other stocks are making moves on the day and what has earnings after the bell? We'll talk a little bit about that. Today, I did mention if Tesla went down that I'd be looking for Ford to crack also. And Ford did crack. It went right back down there towards $15 today. Also coming off the news here from Ford as they are cutting about 3,000 jobs of its global workforce, a majority of which are in, of course, North America. So Ford cutting some jobs here, making the move down to 15. I think eventually it cuts to 14. But it's been a really nice move there for Ford. It could come down here closer towards the 50% retracement. That's the first level I'm looking at. So it's a retracement to 14. We'll see if it's able to cut through the support that it's at right now and went to the next layer, which is right down here about 15, 13s. If that holds as resistance, you could see that next move to 14. Interesting stock as it's getting hit hard. GM also one that I think is going to turn around and come right back down here, probably closer towards the 36 and 35s. We'll see what happens. All right, let's continue going. After the close, we will get Zoom. So let's take a look at Zoom's chart. This is one that I think eventually gets back down underneath 90 and then starts taking out lows to the left-hand side. Eventually, I think it could even take out the IPO low. That's how bearish I am on Zoom. I don't think it's going to be able to survive. I don't think it has a competitive advantage here. And I think the first thing you're starting to see is in a lot of businesses, if you got to cut some kind of cost, right? Why not cut Zoom, right? Why not use a free service like Google Meeting than using Zoom is something that I'd keep on mind. I think companies are making that decision. So in my eyes, I think Zoom, unless it gets back there towards 120, it's a bearish tape for me. And it looks like it wants to head down towards that 80 and crack on down. What's up, Mitch? You gave success at 34. Hey, feed on up, man. Feed on up. That's what it's all about there. Let's look at success. Look at success up there to $42. I actually played this one today, full disclosure. Nice little VWAP bounce trade that we got on success here. I'll show you guys it right now. And this was a nice little trade. We got a pattern that was holding up here on, let's do it on the 5 here so you can see it. It was holding the support. Got back above VWAP. We got in it for a couple of nice little trades up there back towards the high of the day. But I talked about it when they started turning around here on this trend line. I said, I'm going to get out, but it looks like it's wanting to come back to VWAP and hold, continue the trend for the day. I usually take the profits out because I can't watch trades in the afternoon, depending on if I'm doing a swing trade, and I'll just put a stop. But this was a nice little move. It didn't even come back to the entry. kept holding after that VWAP bounce and just rode all the way up there. Now up there almost to 42. One to keep in mind, they do like to retrace because they're leveraged, so just be careful. It's more for a day trading vehicle than a swing trading vehicle, but not a bad move there on SOXS. All right, probably can't remember. I hit you with SOXS on Thursday. Hell yeah, that's what we traded this one multiple times last week, so it's definitely one that's in play and one to keep on watch. All right, with SOXS, we were looking at AMD short, and look how that is closing. It is really getting that breakdown there. Also, NVIDIA breaking down also. So you can see that these tech names really getting hit hard and fast. All right, short covering towards the close and before earnings. Yes, let's take a look there. Macy's really getting crushed before their earnings. We're going to take a look at what stocks are after the bell. You guys can take a look at our earnings calendar. It should be on our Twitter. I'll make sure that we get it pinned up towards the top so you guys can keep up with all the earnings this week. Of course, we're getting tomorrow Macy's, Xpeng, Dole, Dick's. What's on your radar? Throw it up in the chat if any of these are a stock that you guys are watching towards the close here. Macy's coming down fast there towards 1867. We've gotten so much of a mixed bag in the retailers that it's hard. It's hard to call it here. I personally would be leaning towards the short side, but that's probably because I'm a bear, and we'll see what happens here. If it comes back, it could come back there towards the 1910s, 1930s. I'd actually be on the fence that I'm so 50-50. I won't even call a side here on Macy's. It could end up going up. It could end up going down. But it is going to give insight on a lot of these department stores, as you'll see Nordstrom also coming down fast today. You see KSS coming down fast today. So keep these ones on watch. Dillard's, look how that is just breaking down and just doesn't look good for retail overall. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what happens. Smash those like, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying today's show. Ford, we already talked about it. If you want, James, just rewind for that. We'll take a look to see if we keep cutting down. All right, let's go towards another stock here. I will mention a little bit of Penn to see if it was moving with the sports book. It did buy the rest of the online gaming partner Barstool Sports, so we'll see if this can make a rebound. But I do want to give you guys a little bit of insight here. I don't know if you guys are fantasy football fans. I'm a big fantasy football fan, and I'll let you guys know. I will be part of a big-time YouTube channel doing a mock draft tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's a PPR mock draft. I know that this, doesn't really involve stocks, but I'll give you guys the link there. Hope you guys check me out tomorrow on Fantasy Pros. Fantasy Pros has over 152,000 subscribers on their YouTube. Also over 360,000 on their Twitter. So come on out there tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, and root me on as I take on the guys from Fantasy Pros. I'm going to try to beat their scoring. So the way that it works is their website gives you a grading, right? They're going to be doing their own kind of drafting, talking about their picks. But I will be in the back there picking against them. Won't be able to chat along with you guys, but you guys can chat along with me in their chat, of course, as we go through the mock draft, and I will try to grade better than them. We'll see if we can beat them. All right, just threw it up in the chat. I'm going to put it up on my Twitter a little bit later, but I want you guys to check it out. Stocks from the chat. You guys throw it on up. What are we watching? XOM is my biggest oil stock. I'm watching for a close above 95. Talked about it today. Look how we're just hanging out right around that 95 level. That's what we need to keep on watch. Look at these daily levels, how we're creating another wick there around the 95s. Anything closes above that 95, and I think that we get our breakout that we're looking for. But it doesn't mean that we can't retrace to 92 and 90s, even 88s in the short term being. So that's why I take a look at more of the weekly chart. Look at the weekly chart, how it's setting on up here for a nice push above. But what does it need to do? It needs to get over last week's close. Last week closed 94.06. Look how we're right around that 94.04. There's a reason why this is happening, guys. To me, this is deeper traders, swing traders, day traders looking at this oil move, looking for that next step up. A lot of traders look at that weekly, looking for it to get above that to get the extension. We'll see what happens. All right, I see some stocks mentioned in the chat. NEM, what's going on? Why are you looking at gold? Oh, gold into the green today. Not a bad little sneaky one. Interesting to see it into the green, even though the dollar was going on up right now. NEM, you could take a look at it. You also taking a look at GDX. Oof, it's a tough trade with these gold trades. Honestly, I'm just not so sure that they were going to continue the trend. Last time we had a spike here, it just came right back down. But like GOLD is one that I like. NEM is one that I like, and I'm agreeing with you on there. GDX is also a really nice one. They're all really similar. So keep these ones in watch, right? I mean, another one that I like in gold is AU. AU, if you want to keep these on watch, they did have bullish days today. Now let's see if they have a day two, Manuel. That's going to be the important part. If we can get gold to have day two moves, that's when I'll start paying attention to it. Right now, it's kind of more of a, hey, look at me. And so I will look at it, but it's not something that I would be trading right now unless I see a nice day two move. Then I'll look for some pullback buy. BABA being brought up by Wellness Matters. Let's take a look there. I did see Chinese stocks trying to get back up today. You can see it here. It's trying to get back up through the VWAP. Can't do it. It rejected it right there. So move back above, let's say 90.50s can give you that upside look on BABA. But for right now, it looks bearish. This looks like it doesn't want to hold, and if it wants to take out 89, boom, it could be right back down there towards 80. I'm staying away from all Chinese stocks, but that doesn't mean that you have to. That just means for me, I think they're way too high risk, so I'm going to stay off of them. All right, PDD also bouncing back. We'll see what happens on those stocks, but to me, not really ones that I want to be following. All right, let's go towards the next one on up. I did see that there was some cheaper stocks making some moves. How was that drug stock, a $2 stock that's trying to make a move up? It did squeeze for a little while and came right back down. We'll see what happens on this one. Doesn't look too bad on the daily close there, trying to hold that kind of 203, 212. But this one could turn around, and just be careful. I mean, with a stock like this, you just don't know. Definitely pump much. I would agree with it, but not my type of stock, right? I don't really even trade these anymore. Even when they pump, just like Party, you know, a lot of people want to trade that today. Not my type of stock. I'd stay away from those, but to each his own. Netflix down about 6% there. Of course, it's coming off of also a downgrade from CFRA. But the turnaround there is also being seen in what stock? Disney, because Disney got Netflix moving last week with their earnings report. Look how Disney's right back down here trying to close up the gap here. Just be careful. You're starting to see Disney come right back down. And this is why we take profits. Just like in SQ, you saw that nice push. Now it's right back down. ARKK, look at the growth names. Look at that. Look at that. Right back down here and getting hit hard. Another thing to do is what I've talked about in the past, right? Extreme RSI is so important. If you take a look here, what are some extreme moments here? There's not many times that we get past the 84 level here. And you can see we didn't even get close to it on ARC. That just shows me more and more how, yes, we were coming on back, but we're still in kind of nowhere zone here for RSI on ARC. So to me, right back into the bearish trend here. Now we look to see if it can hold the 40. 40 is where we're really pushed off of. Now we're right back to 43s. Will we be in 40s in the next 2 days? You got to watch out there as you're seeing a lot of these stocks get hit hard. Diagnostics and research getting hit hard. Also the biotech names also getting hit hard. Look at DNA down really quickly. Path, software name down really fast. I've given a lot of these areas where I've seen some of these stocks take quick downturns. A lot of the areas are software, biotech, diagnostics, and research. Those are the three areas that Kathy loves to be in. And what happens when you're in too many of the same type of name? This exact move where you're seeing them getting hit and they're all getting attacked. Roku down there, MTLS down, TXG here, genomics play down fast. Biotech names, TLA, NTLA, that nice pop above 74, right back down there to 54s. Beam, one that I've talked about. Fate is one that I've talked about. CRISPR, Nice down day there, 3% day, and starting to lose some of those gains. Definitely the house of pain is there, and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of Kathy. Joel, can't be yet another holiday, surely? Yeah, man. Let's just say we ain't doing it right. Joel, enjoy your vacation. I actually hope you're not listening to me right now and are kicked back with a little pina colada, maybe a little umbrella in there. Nah, I don't think Joel's that type of guy. But hey, I'll tell you one thing. My man Joel's probably enjoying it on up, so he deserves it. Let's go ahead. We're going to get on out of here. It's 4:01. Let's take a quick look at the overall market. Where did we close? Where did the SPY close? Down there to 413s. It bounced a little bit right before the close here, so didn't take out that 412s today, but definitely down tracing. As you're seeing the RSI just come right back off. So I know that a lot of people hit me for the RSI outlook, but take a look at how well it's done since the bottoming that everybody wanted to call, and then the top that no one wanted to actually make the call. Well, there you guys see it. Not too bad of an outlook there for RSI. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. Definitely keep up with the earnings stocks with Benzinga Pro after the bell today. Zoom, Palo Alto, Nordstrom. Keep these on watch. We'll see what happens. Like always, I'll see you tomorrow on Benzinga. Pre-market prep starts every morning at 8 a.m., goes to 9 a.m. Eastern. And like I said, don't miss me tomorrow on the mock draft, you fantasy sports fans. If you're into some fantasy football, I'm excited to go ahead and compete against some of the fantasy pros. So check me out tomorrow, and I'll make sure to tell you guys about that in the morning. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So let's get through it, and we'll see what happens with Zoom and Palo Alto. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Smash that like before you get on out of here. Give me some likes. Come on, guys. I want to see you also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed so that you can be notified, of course, when we go live. We'll see you guys next time. Hit the like on the way out.